And breaking now at 6, reported just moments ago, a plane crash at Muhammad Ali Airport in Louisville, Kentucky.
Well, let's get right to Atlanta News First anchor Joe Gorcho at the First Alert Breaking News Desk. And Joe, I know we're just confirming from Atlanta-based UPS that this is one of their planes.
It is, and we're also trying to get more official responses as to what was the cause of this crash. Right now, as you should be seeing on your screen, you're seeing a wide vantage point of this devastation. You see flames on the bottom, and here's an aerial view now. We're just getting new images and video from the scene from our sister station there in Louisville, and I think this gives you kind of the scope of this damage here tonight. Just look at the trail of fire there on your screen, the thick cloud of smoke. There was another vantage point I saw just moments ago, Blair and Tracy, where we saw trucks damaged, buildings damaged. We do know from our sister station in Louisville that there are reported injuries because of this crash. And we're also learning that calls came in around 5:15 this afternoon, so this is all very much developing. We're also learning from our desk as well that right now there is a ground stop. The airport is completely shut down there in Louisville, and this crash happened just south of the airport. But as you can see, it looks like it's right there next to it as we see first responders there on the scene working to try to contain this situation. I'm seeing countless. You can see it on your screen there too. All these lights, all these first responders there responding to this crash. Like you mentioned here, this was a UPS plane. We don't know the specifics of what caused this crash, but we do know again that it was a UPS plane that did crash and cause this damage. Now, there is a shelter in place for 5 miles surrounding the airport at this time. Authorities are asking people to stay away from the area. One can imagine when you see this massive plume of smoke that, again, we don't know what caused this crash. Now, the FAA and NTSB, they're not replying right now. We're reaching out, trying to get answers because of this shutdown. We've reached out, and we got an automatic response saying they're not responding because of the shutdown. But again, this is just another vantage point. You're seeing planes grounded right now. The thick cloud of smoke. We have camera crews there from our sister station working to get more information at this time. Blair and Tracy, this is something, of course, we'll be keeping a close eye on throughout the evening as crews there, first responders look to contain the situation. Certainly prayers for all involved, as we do know there are injuries reported.
Joe, I was just going to ask you, looking at,
yes.
Sorry about that, Joe. Just looking at
Blair,
the live
continue,
pictures
please.
from the ground, it's one situation, but then we look at these chopper pictures from our affiliate there in Louisville, looking at that debris field, it is significant. You're saying this is right south of the runway, right south of the airport?
Yes, and again, we're working on trying to get more information about what caused this crash. Now, we do have some information that was just given to us by our producers. Let me share it with you right now. UPS Flight 2976 crashed around 5:15 this afternoon, local time in Louisville today, after departing from Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport in Kentucky. So that gives you the sense that this happened as it was looking to leave the airport. The McDonnell McDouglas MD-11 was headed to Daniel K. International Airport in Honolulu. The FAA and NTSB will investigate. The NTSB will be the lead on this investigation. So federal officials just got back to us with that information, and Blair and Trace, that gives you a little bit of the insight of potentially what happened here as it was looking to take off and leave Louisville from that runway that you pointed out there, Blair, and now you're seeing just the widespread magnitude of this crash and the devastating fire and the fallout from all of this. It's difficult to watch as you see the flames still burning right now. It's hard to make out what's the debris from the plane and then potential buildings and trucks and cars impacted here. Again, still working to learn how many people were potentially injured as a direct result of this plane crash looking to take off from Louisville. Blair and Tracy, this is something we'll be keeping a close eye on for sure.
And Joe, we're going to stick with it because these images are just incredible to look at, and your heart just drops when you do see that debris field and the flames there. Just doing a little quick research on Louisville's airport. It is a major cargo hub. Again, we do know that UPS did confirm it is one of their planes that was involved in this. Again, a number of injuries reported, and one can judge, it could be an assumption, of course, that debris field involves some neighborhoods because this is not a very large airport at all. It only has about 24 boarding gates and 3 runways as well. So we're not talking about an expanse like, say, we have here in Atlanta around Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. We are talking about a relatively small airport that mostly brings in cargo jets in and out there as a kind of a transportation hub. So we're hoping no neighborhoods are involved in this, but unfortunately likely so. As we get even closer images, it's really hard to make out what we're looking at here. All you can really see is flames. And of course, the fire crews at the airport trying to do the best they can. As we know, at any major airport, there are crews on standby, basically like a fire department there on the campus at the airport, trying to get a handle on this. And at this point, with those flames and of course the fuel on that jet, you know, they're just looking at being in kind of a defensive mode at this point.
Well, and it's a very good point, Tracy. Think about this plane. This is a plane that was taking off from Louisville, Kentucky, and going to Honolulu. So it was a full
Filled.
plane when it comes to the jet fuel on there, and that's why you're seeing a significant shot when it comes to the flames there. And I thought the same thing. You know, you don't know if there are homes around here, if this is a business park, what exactly is near south of that airport and south of that runway. But we know this plane was taking off. Of course, a lot of concern here in the Atlanta area because this is a Atlanta-based company, UPS, telling us that one of its planes was involved in this accident involving one of their aircraft in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, and we could see from those images at least 2 ladder trucks trying to put some water on this, really more of a suppression foam at this point, because we are talking about that jet fuel. Of course, this is a story we will continue to follow at this hour as we take a live look again from Louisville, Kentucky, where a UPS cargo plane, where it is best to assume it's a UPS cargo plane, was involved in a crash in Louisville, Kentucky there. Injuries have been reported, and there was a very, very large debris field, basically a trail of fire leading near the runway as this jet was about to take off.
We're going to keep an eye on these live pictures. We're going to watch this situation back in our newsroom and in our control room. We will come back to this. We will continue to get new information, and as we get it, the moment we get more information, new information, we will come right back to this breaking story.